However, they are aroused by the bad boys. They chase the bad boys. They try to get away from the nice guy. They try to get away from the guy that's doing exactly what they said he should do. Really think about that. She's in your life as a test. She's in your life to actually get you back to being a masculine man that moves to the beat of his own drum. That's why she frustrates you. That's why she disrespects you. That's why she makes you have a horrible time. So at some point, you finally snap out of the bullshit and you wake up and you stop being subservient and you become a masculine man as nature intended you to be. Move to the beat of your own drum so she can follow your lead. Okay? That's how this works. Once I became that person, I never had an issue with women again. Why do you think a bunch of these women are married to these nice guy archetypes and they're always going on girls' trips? What do you think they're going on girls' trips for? And look at the places that they go. Jamaica for girls' trips? Who do you think is in Jamaica, bruh? The real bad man there, sir. You know what I'm saying? A whole heap of them bad boy there, sir. You see it? She's not running into nice guys in Jamaica. She's running into real bad man there, sir. You know what I'm saying? They'll teach her a thing or two. You didn't even know your girl could dirty wine. But Livingston knows. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. Feel free to stick around. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Big shout out to the TSG, man. The Sovereign Gentleman. Salute. As usual, if you would like to tap in with me for one-on-one coaching, link in the description below. Also join the membership forum, the Sovereign Gentlemen's Club, private, members only, 7-day free trial, link in the description below. Today's discussion is about the origin story of a bad boy. Yeah, that's right. We're going to take it there today. Yeah. Listen, to put it simply to you guys, yeah, in case you don't already know, a bad boy is simply an ex-lover boy, an ex-nice guy, an ex-simp, whatever you want to call it. He's gone through specific experiences that has transformed him into who he is today, the bad boy, right? And I'm going to use these terms loosely. Bad boy, nice guy, simp, sucker, whatever. It's just labels so you know what I'm talking about, right? But all these are archetypes of a specific expression of masculinity or lack thereof. You see, I'll use myself as an example, right? Growing up, I've always been naturally a bad boy archetype. You know, I simply move to the beat of my own drum. I do whatever I want to do, right? Without actually inflicting harm to anybody, without breaking the rules and being a nuisance to society. That's not what I mean by a bad boy or moving to the beat of my own drum. I simply just do my thing. And that's what it is. I was the type of kid that I just played by myself. You know, I didn't really care to play with other kids. I just played by myself, did my own thing. So for example, let's say the neighborhood kids wanted to go play tag, right? But I wanted to go play football. As opposed to trying to convince people to play football or going to play tag when I really didn't want to, I'll simply just go play by myself. I'll go kick the football around by myself. And then within a few minutes, all the kids that went to go play hide and seek or tag or whatever, they came over there and started playing football with me. So I've kind of been this guy all my life, you could say. However, there was a period of my life where I fell for the social PR, you know, especially once I entered teenage years, like being an adolescent, growing into an adult. So back then, before I was a teenager, you know, I used to get in a lot of trouble at school, man. It is what it is. But it wasn't even my fault when you really think about it. And I'm not trying to make excuses. It genuinely wasn't my fault. I'll give you an example, right? The type of trouble I used to get into, and mind you, I never got suspended. I never got expelled. So this is what I mean by I got in trouble, but not really. You know, the type of trouble I used to get into was like detention, getting kicked out of class, getting reported, you know, receiving all these different infractions and whatever, getting into trouble at home, you know, for the sake of getting in trouble in school. I was the type of student that I used to get my classwork done really quickly. You know, I was one of those type of kids, very bright, very quick with the curriculum, and then just bored, like nothing else to do, you know, because I had to sit around waiting for my fellow classmates to get their work done while no alternative was presented to me. You know, I wasn't able to go outside and just chill. I wasn't able to read a book. I wasn't even able to take a nap. You know, it was an issue. And then the type of archetype that I am, I would ask the teacher, why? Why can't I take a nap? Why can't I go outside and just catch fresh air? And then it was thrown right back in my face like, oh, you're being a delinquent. Why are you talking back to me? You don't have respect. You're not respecting me. I'm simply asking a question, buddy. You know, it's not making any sense to me. I wasn't that type of sit down and shut up type of kid. I will sit down and shut up if you tell me why. You know, make it make sense. So of course I was very disturbing. So you can imagine dealing with a kid like that. It could be very annoying to an adult, especially when the adult knows the kid is right. Like, you don't actually have an answer for the kid, and it's almost like the kid is calling you out and putting you on the spot, and then you revert to the whole dynamics like in Matilda the movie. I'm big, you're small, I'm right, you're wrong, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? I wasn't going for that. You understand what I'm saying? I wasn't going for that, man. So it was an issue. But anyways, fast forward to teenage years, you know, early 20s. I fell for the propaganda, man. You know, I used to be under the impression that adults actually had it figured out, you know, silly me. Little did I know, they didn't know what they were doing, you know, but I figured they were adults. Like, you've been around for a minute, so obviously you're an expert at life, at being a human being, right? So I was taking their directive as law. You know, I actually thought they knew what they were talking about. So when I started talking to adults and also watching movies and listening to music and things like that, the message was always pedestalizing the woman, you know, put her on a pedestal and perform for her validation. Obviously, that doesn't even work. And when I did that, bro, I had the worst time dating, man. I was lied to, cheated on, gaslighted or gaslit, I guess, disrespected, completely pushed to the side, wasn't cared for, wasn't cared about. It didn't matter. I just didn't matter at all, bro. I didn't matter. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that experience. However, once I realized that, okay, this doesn't work, so naturally I reverted right back to who I really am naturally, which is a guy that moves to the beat of his own drum. Once I became that person, I never had an issue with women again. The less I went for her validation, the more I received. The less I did, the more she did. Go figure. Like, really think about that, because you come to find out that women say one thing, but they respond to a completely different set of things. Usually the opposite of what it is that they said. So they say they want the nice guy, they want the Prince Charming, they want the guy to bring her flowers and do all these different things, right? However, they are aroused by the bad boys. They chase the bad boys. They try to get away from the nice guy. They try to get away from the guy that's doing exactly what they said he should do. Really think about that. I don't penalize women for this at all, because I see deeper into what's actually going on. She's in your life as a test. She's in your life to actually get you back to being a masculine man that moves to the beat of his own drum. That's why she frustrates you. That's why she disrespects you. That's why she makes you have a horrible time. So at some point, you finally snap out of the bullshit and you wake up and you stop being subservient and you become a masculine man as nature intended you to be. Move to the beat of your own drum so she can follow your lead. Okay, that's how this works. Why do you think a bunch of these women are married to these nice guy archetypes and they're always going on girls' trips? What do you think they're going on girls' trips for? And look at the places that they go. Jamaica for girls' trips? Who do you think is in Jamaica, bruh? The real bad man there, sir. You know what I'm saying? A whole heap of them bad boy there, sir. You see it? She's not running into nice guys in Jamaica. She's running into real bad man there, so. You know what I'm saying? They'll teach her a thing or two. You didn't even know your girl could dirty wine. But Livingston knows. And when she comes back from the girls' trip, right, here comes the lover boy, nice guy that she's, you know, married or is her boyfriend or whatever. Oh, hey, honey, how was your trip? I hope you had fun. Oh, she had fun. She had a whole heap of fun there, so. A dirty wine, a poo on the pum pum. You understand?